Round 1 of the Investec Champions Cup got underway this past weekend with 12 pulsating fixtures, featuring incredible comebacks, dominant displays from the powerhouse teams, and some world-class individual performances. Here is a recap of all the action. Getting underway on Friday evening, Bath Rugby's spirited second half comeback fell just short as two-time champions La Rochelle claimed a 22-18 victory in a stormy opener at the recreational ground in Bath. In torrential rain and swirling winds brought on by Storm Dara, La Rochelle raced into a 21-6 half-time lead, with tries from Oscar Jagou, Rita Wardy and Tawira Kerr-Barlow nudging the former champions into a very, very commanding position. Despite losing captain Ben Spencer before kickoff, Bath fought back resiliently after the break. Tom Dunn sparked hope for the hosts with a try from a rolling wall before Quins capitalised on a slippery ball to narrow the deficit to just 1 point. Fueled by their passionate home support, Bath's determination set the stage for a potential upset heading into the final few minutes of the match. However, Ihia West's late penalty restored a 4-point cushion for the French side before, in the dying moments, Lavania Botia's critical turnover ended Bath's challenge. Reflecting on the game, stand-in Bath captain Charlie Ools praised his side's fight back, but acknowledged missed chances when he said, "We had opportunities to win, but the physicality and focus needed felt like a test match for us." Bath now turns its attention to round 2 clash with Benetton on December 15, while La Rochelle will get set to host the Bristol Bears. Getting things underway on Saturday, the Exeter Chiefs fell 39-21 to a clinical Hollywood-vexed Sharks side in their Investec Champions Cup opener in Durban, despite a spirited effort and a late numerical advantage. Exeter started brightly with Dan Frost scoring early, despite Greg Fisselau being in the sin bin for a dangerous tackle attempt. Frost added a second try just before half-time, but by then the Sharks had surged ahead, leading 26-14 after 4 unanswered tries, including scores from Makazole Mpimpi, Fepsi Buthelezi, Grant Williams and Sia Khaleesi. Khaleesi, South Africa's World Cup winning campaign, completed his brace in the second half after the Sharks capitalised on an Exeter line-out error. England winger Emmanuel Faye-Waboso claimed Exeter's third try from a crossfield kick to keep alive hopes of a late comeback or at the very least a 4-try bonus point. The Sharks' lack of discipline saw 3 players sent to the sin bin in quick succession, reducing them to 12 men late on. However, Exeter failed to capitalise on this numerical advantage, with Ben Hammersley dropping a crucial high kick that would have secured the bonus point for Rob Baxter's men. Exeter, who are winless in the Premiership this season, showed ambition but couldn't match the Sharks' clinical edge. The Chiefs now face Toulouse in their next Pool 5 match on December 15th in what will be a brutal fixture against the reigning champions needing a victory to reignite their European campaign. Next up, Clermont Auvergne opened its European campaign with a 28-0 bonus point victory over Italian side Benetton at Stade Marcel Michelin. Pesilietto and Barnaby Massa each scored twice as Clermont capitalised on early Benetton ill-discipline, including a yellow card for back row Sebastian Negri to seize control. Yeto's try in the opening 10 minutes set the tone for a physical showing from Clermont, with Massa adding 2 more tries which were both converted, giving the home side a 21-0 lead at half-time. Benetton, keen to respond after a heavy loss to Edinburgh last week, showed flashes of attacking intent in the second half, but were unable to break through that resolute Clermont defence. Despite the visitors' efforts to stay competitive, Clermont maintained dominance, frequently threatening on the counter-attack. The hosts sealed the win in the 76th minute when Yeto claimed his second try and Clermont's bonus point, ensuring a perfect start to their European campaign. Benetton, unable to match Clermont's intensity, will look to regroup in its next outing. The victory builds on Clermont's strong domestic form so far this season and highlights the team's ambitions in this year's competition in what will be a real return to form for the French side from the Massif Central. Travelling back down to South Africa, Toulon clinched the first victory in its history outside of Europe, defeating the Stormers 24-14 in a passionate Champions Cup clash at Nelson Mandela Stadium in Quebec. Backed by vocal Eastern Cape crowd, the Stormers started brightly, but were undone by a lack of discipline and precision which has haunted them all season so far. Toulon, 3 times champions, capitalised with clinical tries from Gabin Villiers, Facundo Issa and skipper Baptiste Serran, showcasing a blend of grit and guile which should see them further into this competition. Despite late red and yellow cards, the French side held firm to secure a significant win to get their campaign underway. The Stormers, Springbok duo Rochelle and Joseph Dweba, crossed the line to keep hopes of a comeback alive. Dweba in particular was impressive with his strong all-round performance, reinforcing his Springbok credentials as he finished off a well-executed line-out drive, whilst Rochelle's try was a thing of beauty with a fantastic finish from the fullback. However, a lack of discipline again cost the Stormers dearly, with Leo Lanzas' reckless shoulder charge resulting in a yellow card late on in the fixture, which really epitomised their struggles throughout this clash. Toulon controlled key moments, with Baptiste Serran delivering a masterclass in game management, while Villiers and Issa contributed pivotal moments on both sides of the ball. The Stormers now face mounting pressure with just 2 wins in 7 matches so far this season, while Toulon's resurgence hints at a potential rejoining of European elite as they chase a 4th Champions Cup title, their first in many years. Returning to Europe now, where the Northampton Saints launched their campaign in a perfect manner with an emphatic 38-8 bonus point win over top 14 side Castres at a very stormy Franklin's Gardens. Captain Fraser Dingwall powered over early to set the tone for the Premiership champions before second row Temo Marouana's barnstorming run extended the lead for the home side. A Louis Lebrun penalty kept Castres within reach, but worsening winds from Storm Dara stifled attacking opportunities for the visitors, forcing both teams into a tactical kicking battle. After half-time, the Saints capitalised on what were becoming calmer conditions throughout the evening, with Urano Augustus touching down in the corner following a quick penalty, and Curtis Langdon's close-range effort securing the bonus point for the Saints. Augustus added his second try, showing his immense strength as he powered over with the help from his pack. Castres' Pierre Colonna snatched a late consolation with a quick tap and go, but teenage sensation Henry Pollock capped a memorable European debut with a stunning solo effort, breaking tackles, spinning through defenders and launching right over that line for a brilliant try in what highlighted why so many people are so excited about his potential. With Augustus set to join Irish side Ulster next season, Pollock's standout performance signalled his readiness to step into the spotlight and replace the South African veteran. The Saints' victory demonstrated the resilience and precision went on form following what has been a relatively tough start to the season for the reigning Premiership champions, who will now take a trip to South Africa to face the Bulls on the Highveld. Castres, on the other hand, will have to regroup quickly to face Munster in their next fixture. Speaking of Munster, they opened their Champions Cup campaign with a dominant 33-7 bonus point victory over a Stade Français reduced to 13 men in the second half at Thomond Park. More on that in a minute. Fakir Abrams opened the scoring in the 15th minute, diving over in the corner following some really intelligent play from Peter O'Mahony and Craig Casey, which set the South African on his way. Despite Alex Nankivell's yellow card for a high tackle, Munster would score again, with Shane Daly doubled their lead with a sensational solo try, chipping the ball twice over defenders and sprinting to score under the posts. Jack Crowley would convert the try to send Munster into a 14-0 lead at the break. Stade briefly applied pressure early in the second half, but everything began to unravel for the Parisian side, with Pierre Azogo was shown a red card for a reckless arm to the head of Peter O'Mahony. Munster capitalised immediately, with Alex Gandelian scoring from a powerful maul. Moments later, Stade's Baptiste Presenti received a red card for his WWE-style tackle on Craig Casey, leaving the visitors with 13 men for the remainder of the match and crucially without both of their starting second rows. Centre Tom Farrell secured the bonus point on his Champions Cup debut for Munster, while Gavin Coombs added a 5th late on, exploiting gaps in the stretched Parisian defence. Stade managed a consolation try through Clermont Castres, but Munster's superiority was never in doubt throughout this fixture. Munster will now look to build on their strong start to their campaign when they travel to Castres on Friday in what should be an intriguing match between a French side who took a heavy defeat at the hands of Northampton and a resurgent Munster side. Saracens began their hunt for a 4th European Cup in style, overcoming very challenging conditions to claim a 27-5 bonus point victory over the Vodacom Bulls at Stone X Stadium. The Bulls struck first with Sebastian de Klerk crossing in the corner, but Saracens soon responded as Rhys Carrick powered over after a dominant drive by the Saris pack. Despite the fierce wind, fly half Fergus Burke managed to land a penalty, giving the hosts a narrow 8-5 lead at halftime after missing earlier opportunities throughout the first half. The second half saw Saris take full control, aided by 2 yellow cards to the Bulls duo of Yannis Christian and Sebastian de Klerk, reducing the visitors to 13 men for a period. England captain Jamie George scored from a textbook rolling wall, while man of the match Tom Willis added another try following a charge down by Theo McFarland. Ben Earl's superb individual efforts sealed the bonus point as the England number 8 displayed pace and power to beat 2 defenders and score in the corner. Saracens' experienced forward pack, led by captain Maro Itoje and Nick Izikwe, were instrumental in ensuring their dominance in set piece and mauls against the very physical South African side. The win marked a strong response from Saris following their shock Premiership loss to Newcastle just a week ago, setting the stage for next weekend's trip to Stade Français. Taking a trip north of the border, the Glasgow Warriors began their Investec Champions Cup campaign in style, claiming a dominant 38-19 bonus point win over the Sale Sharks at a blustery Scotstoun Stadium. Scrum half George Horne starred with a hat-trick, scoring 3 of Glasgow's 5 first half tries. Kyle Rowe and Hugh Jones also crossed in a blistering opening period that showcased the Warriors' attacking prowess. Sale responded with a penalty try and a score from Aaron Reid, but Glasgow secured a commanding 33-12 lead at half-time. Looking back on those tries, Horne opened the scoring within 3 minutes of kickoff, combining with Matt Ferguson and Jones to slice through the Sale defence. He followed this up with a brilliant solo effort, chasing his own grubber kick to touchdown before converting Rowe's try after fluid handling from the Glasgow backs. Despite Sale's penalty try and a yellow card for Horne, the hosts quickly hit back with Jones scoring wide after Rory Darge's powerful break. Horne would then complete his hat-trick before the break, finishing a move sparked by Jamie Batty's storming carry. Sale's Joe Carpenter crossed early in the second half, but Scott Cummings' late try ensured Glasgow's 6th score and a comprehensive win for the reigning URC champions. The Warriors now head to Toulon next Sunday, aiming to maintain their perfect start to the campaign against a resurgent French outfit. From Glasgow to Paris now, where revenge was word of the day in what was an edge-of-your-seat encounter at the Stade Dominique de Rochelle. Racing 92 would edge the Harlequins 23-12 to get revenge for their loss to the same opposition in last year's pool stages. Despite being deadlocked at half-time, Racing would turn on the afterburners in the second half, scoring 11 unanswered points to break the Quins' resistance. Harlequins would draw first blood in the match with a powerful surge from number 8 Alex Dombrand for an early score, but Racing would hit back when Nolan Lagara converted his own try. Wame Nautuvi then added a second try for Racing after a superb finish, stepping off his wing after sustained pressure from the home side. The turning point would come after the break when scrum half Will Porter's try levelled the scores at 12-all. But Harlequins would then be reduced to 14 men when Lennox Anawanu was sin-binned for a dangerous tip tackle. Racing would capitalise on their numerical advantage as the Garak slotted 2 kicks, the second following a clever crossfield kick from Anton Gibert to Max Spring for the game-winning try. Despite a late rally from the Quins, they would leave empty-handed as Racing secured the win and denied them the losing bonus point. Harlequins now face a must-win match against South African side the Stormers, who too face a must-win match at the Twickenham Stoop next Saturday, while Racing travel to Sale the night before. Kicking off our Sunday slate of games, the Leicester Tigers saw their hopes of a winning start to the European Cup dashed by a devastating second half blitz from Bordeaux Begla, who scored 4 tries in 6 minutes to secure a 42-28 victory at the Stade Chaban Delmas. The Tigers would go into the break leading 21-14 after a spirited first half display from Michael Cheika's men, in which they looked composed and direct towards their much fancied hosts. Harry Wells barged over for the opening score, but soon after Pete Samu pounced on a split ball to score Bordeaux's first try, literally seconds after the Tigers had got their first score. Josh Bassett's acrobatic effort in the corner was converted by Jamie Shilcock to briefly restore Leicester's lead, but Bordeaux, as they did previously, responded quickly with Guido Petty exploited a gap in the Leicester line-out to level the scores. In the second half, Bordeaux took control with 2 quick tries from winger Louis Biel-Biarri and Samu adding his second to put them into a very comfortable lead. Biel-Biarri scored his second try under the post before Nicolas Deporter ran in unopposed from Bordeaux's 6th try. Leicester managed a late consolation try, which did secure them a 4-try bonus point when Isaiah Parisi scored with the last play of the match following a powerful break from back row Henro Levenberg. This bonus point could prove to be very important as the competition continues on. Despite the defeat, Leicester's debutant Jean Jouzan impressed with a try on his debut, but Bordeaux's relentless attack was just too much for the Premiership side to handle. Bordeaux now looks like a very serious contender for the European Cup after an impressive display, while Leicester will need to regroup ahead of their next match against a Springbok-laden Shark side who claimed a victory over Exeter Chiefs in round 1. What this defeat did highlight for Leicester, however, is that they will need to get better at converting pressure into points when hosting the Sharks at Welford Road next Saturday, following plenty of opportunities to capitalise against Bordeaux, which they simply could not do. Making the quick trip from Bordeaux to Toulouse, where the Champions Cup holders delivered a ruthless performance in their season opener against an underwhelming Ulster side to claim a 61-21 win at the Stade Français. The French champions set the tone from the outset, scoring 6 first-half tries to take a commanding 40-14 lead at the break. Second row Emmanuel Meafu was at the heart of Toulouse's attack, scoring twice, while Mathis Lebel, Romain Intimac, Antoine Dupont and Andrzej Kapowatu also crossed in that period. Despite the early onset, Ulster would respond with tries of their own from James McCormick and a lovely effort from Stuart Moore, demonstrating their resilience against a team who were heavy favourites coming into this fixture. The second half saw Toulouse continue its dominance as Santiago Chocobares added a 7th try and Dupont's brilliant crossfield kick found Andrzej Kapowatu for the 8th score of the day. Ulster's veteran second row Ian Henderson scored a consolation try with 13 minutes left, which gave them the opportunity to get that 4th bonus point, but they could never capitalise. Toulouse would have the final say with a penalty try awarded in the final play of the match. Despite a brave performance, Ulster simply were outclassed by the holders, who showed their clinical edge throughout and reignited the understanding that once again they are the favourites heading into this season. Toulouse's powerful display was just simply too much for the URC, and the French sides will carry a massive win into their next match against a struggling Exeter team on the road. Ulster, on the other hand, will look to respond when hosting Bordeaux next weekend, in what will be a big challenge for Richie Murphy's side. From one pre-season favourite to another, Storm Darragh wasn't the only force to batter Bristol this weekend, as Leinster's dominant performance at Ashton Gate was a red warning to European rugby's elite, as the rejuvenated Leinster squad launched its Champions Cup campaign with a commanding 35-12 victory over the Bristol Bears. Young fly half Sam Prendergast was immense and was at the heart of Leinster's display, converting all 6 of his kicks and scoring 2 tries of his own, whilst All Black superstar Geordie Barrett made an impressive debut, scoring 2 tries, including a memorable effort from a line-out move. Jordan Larmour and Josh van der Veer completed the scoring for the visitors, whilst Barrett added an assist to his impressive tally on his debut. Bristol managed scores from Max Laheath and Gabriel Ibitoe, but it was scant reward against the Leinster side that showcased its power and precision, in particular in defence, where they were utterly ruthless. The home side made a fast start, taking advantage of a howling wind and Leinster's discipline to take the lead. However, Leinster would fight back immediately, scoring a try through Jordan Larmour, as touched upon, in what was a rather fortuitous move with the ball bouncing perfectly for the winger to pounce. With a numerical advantage thanks to 2 yellow cards, one for Ronan Keller and one for Max Deegan, Leinster broke the deadlock and never looked back from there. Prendergast and Barrett then took control, carving through Bristol's defence to secure a bonus point win for Leo Cullen's side. For Bristol, it was a tough start to the competition, but the Bears will hope to bounce back next weekend when they face Stade Rochelle on the road. And that completes our recap of round 1 of the Investec Champions Cup. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Leave us a like and a comment about what was your favourite moment from this weekend's action. And remember, you can catch all of the Investec Champions Cup, the United Rugby Championship, Top 14 and Super Rugby live and exclusively on FloRugby.